Hi, I'm Rich with Inside HPC. We're here at the CHPC Conference in South Africa, and I'm here with Trish Damkroger from Intel. Trish, it's great to see you again. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Well, I just watched your keynote. This was really fascinating. You said that this is the sixth time that you've been the premium sponsor of this conference. Why is this conference so important to Intel and the African continent?
Well, I think there's multiple facets and answers to that question. I mean, first, HPC is important to Intel, period, wherever it is. And so we sponsor conferences across the world. And I think Africa is uniquely interesting just because of a developing country and the power of high-performance computing to really change the economics of this country. So yes, we're very interested in helping Africa with HPC.
Terrific. Well, here we have the largest supercomputer on the continent here in Cape Town. Why don't we start with something you said about the convergence of HPC and AI. What do you see there happening, and maybe some examples?
So in my talk, I talked about this fourth paradigm.
Yeah.
And I think that is really telling. So my whole career, we've talked about kind of three pillars of scientific discovery. We've talked about theory, experiment, and modeling and simulation. Theory was always physics-based models. This fourth paradigm is bringing in this massive amounts of data we now have and using that and creating data models. So just like we had physics models, we now will have data models. And doing this comparison with experiment, I think it will increase the speed of where we're going to get to results and actually increase the accuracy of those results.
It's taking us where simulation wasn't quite getting it done because it's only as good as your model, right?
Exactly. And now with all this data we get, with all the sensors that are out there, we have the opportunity to expand what we can do with computers.
You have some examples of that, like real world things that aren't like, exploding stars and stuff like that?
Well, exploding stars are cool, but let's see. There's a number of things that we're doing today that I think are just a precursor of what we're going to see into the future. I mean, an example is for patient care, and I think one of my favorite applications is precision medicine and our strive to go to precision medicine. So we're working with industries on this pharma analytical platform, and that's a lot of words, but what does that mean, right? It's having a patient use different biosensors, like we all have our Fitbit. So it's, your heart rate, how much you're sleeping, but it's also taking in the weather, it's taking in air pollution, it's taking in the different drugs you're on. So it's truly scaling a care plan for that individual based on all of the individual sensors. It's taking all that data and bringing it together. And one of the cool things is you can do this remotely. So you no longer have to go to your doctor and he's writing down this stuff and doing the tests. This is all happening real time, remotely.
It sounds like the efforts Larry Smarr's doing, quantifying health, rather than just taking one point in a time point of your blood pressure and deciding what a doctor. You actually take it over time with all these other sensors and everything. Yeah.
Exactly. And I think that's the future, right?
Yeah.
And we can't do that with traditional modeling simulation. We need the addition of high performance data analytics in order to make this effective.
Well, Trish, I put you on the spot here, but we got a fourth paradigm now. What happens after that? Is there a fifth paradigm?
Oh my goodness, fifth paradigm. Well, I'm sure there will be.
Yeah.
Maybe quantum.
Okay.
Maybe it will be a different way of doing compute. And so let's see if quantum is the fifth paradigm ahead.
Great. Well, Trish, hey, thanks for having me. This is really an exciting conference, and it's just great to see so many young people here, and especially women like are half this conference, which is unusual for HPC. You made an announcement today in that regard. Can you tell me about that?
Yes, as you know, I'm a huge proponent of women in HPC, and Intel is decided to sponsor the outstanding female in the Student Cluster Challenge with a check for $5,000 US, which in Africa is the cost for a year tuition.
That's exciting. So,
yeah, it is.
So one of these teams is going to win this. That's on the student cluster.
One of the women on these teams is going to win a year's tuition.
That's exciting. We'll look forward to that announcement, Trish, and hey, have a great show.
Hey, you too. Thanks so much.